Good day, everyone. This is Aaron Oates for Tech Talk with the Hoffman Auto Group. I was informed recently that April is Car Care Month. So what does that mean to us as consumers? Well, I figured I would have a chat with one of our technicians and find out what we should be doing during the transition from winter to spring and just in general car care, because it's always less expensive to maintain your vehicle than it is to repair your vehicle. So I have with me here Master Technician Brian Lombardi. Brian, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, Aaron. Thank you for asking.
Can you take us through a general check over and some recommendations of what people should be looking to do for car care during this fine month of April and future-wise?
Absolutely. I have plenty of those recommendations, and it coming up to the spring season. First and foremost, what we generally like to do, put the car on the lift, check it front to back for any services that might be needed, closest to the mileage of the vehicle. Give our recommendations based on that. Secondly, I'd like to go over tire tread. Make sure the tire treads are wearing as they should during the season. Cold, hot, temperature in the tire changes, the air pressure changes, and that just reflects on different tread wear. So make sure that's okay.
So if that tire pressure light is not on the dashboard or anything, could there still be a pressure issue?
There could potentially still be an issue with the newer systems. It's a little bit of a different conventional system. But you could still have tire pressure that are just low on tire pressure, but if they're all within a certain amount of range, it won't set the light off. So that's why it's good to check.
So something we definitely need to check.
Absolutely.
Cool. What else you have?
So also, coming up to the spring season, driving through the winter, going through all the dust and snow and all that kind of fun stuff, I like to check the filters. Make sure the filters are all right.
So what is it you're holding there?
So this is the engine air filter.
Okay.
And as you can see, it does have some debris on it. It is getting quite dirty. Not necessarily at the point of replacement, but it's always a good idea to check.
Okay.
Also, coming up in the spring, we want to make sure all our fluid levels are topped off. Correct levels is very important in the vehicle. With a low level, it can cause a whole bunch of different issues. So with checking the levels, we also want to check the condition of the fluids as well. Just did an oil change on this vehicle to make sure that the levels are perfectly good, as they are right there at the top. Also, washer fluid is an important thing as well. We always top that off when we bring a vehicle here off in Honda. Make sure that those are all topped off for the customer.
Is that washer cap always blue?
Not always blue. Sometimes I've seen white, I've seen yellow.
Okay.
But it is important to take note of the image on the washer cap. Usually it'll say washer fluid, or you'll have like a symbol as such here.
Okay.
Definitely don't confuse that with the radiator and coolant.
Definitely not. Two totally different fluids.
Absolutely.
No
And
doubt.
if you contaminate those two fluids, you can have a few different issues.
Okay. Anything else we should be checking out before we get into the season?
Absolutely. We'll take you back over to the side over here.
Okay.
Also, coming up in the spring, we drove through all that salt, snow, cold temperatures, wreaks havoc on bare metals. Bare metals, your braking system.
Okay.
So generally what we'll do is we'll check the condition of the brake rotors to make sure that there is no signs of excessive rust or a lip buildup, and also brake pad condition and function of the brake calipers, whether the brake caliper pins are frozen, moving freely. We want to make sure everything's good. And also, while we're in here, we also check out the entire suspension component, your sway bar links, your lower control arms, your ball joints, just to make sure that those are all in good working order and there are no abnormalities on the visit of the vehicle.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. So, is there anything that a customer needs to really look into before they're planning a trip or anything like that, or is it just pretty much generally the same stuff?
It's generally the same stuff, especially if you're going on a trip. You definitely want to make sure that your tire pressures are set to factory specifications, just to ensure that you're going to get more tread wear on the tires. Also, depending on, you go on trips, you're loading the vehicle up with luggage, more people.
That makes sense.
Tire pressure is definitely a very important thing. Also, suspension and brakes. That's obviously
safety first, no
Absolutely,
doubt.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the time, Brian. Thanks so much. And we will indeed have a chat with you later on. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
So again, my name's Aaron Oates. This has been Tech Talk with Brian Lombardi, taking us through a general check over your vehicle. Recommend you get your car looked at as the seasons change and you get prepared for your summer adventures. You all have a great day. Hoffman Auto Group, driven by trust.